every once in a while, a voice emerges that you just can't ignore. Osman Hadi was that voice for Bangladesh. He wasn't born into a political dynasty or immense wealth. His story starts in 1993, in a small town called Nalchiti. He grew up in a devout family where values like faith, integrity, and speaking up for what is right were not just taught, they were lived. These early lessons became the bedrock of his entire life. They shaped the man who would one day stand up and challenge the most powerful forces in his country. His family instilled in him a deep sense of duty to his community and a belief that one person, armed with conviction, could indeed make a difference. This foundation was everything. His formal education began at the Jalakati N.S. Kamil Madrasa. Now, when some people hear madrasa, they have a very specific, often limited picture in their minds. But for Hadi, this was where he built a strong foundation in Islamic studies and, just as importantly, where he sharpened his skills in critical thinking and debate. He learned to analyze texts, question assumptions, and articulate his arguments with clarity and passion. This wasn't just about memorization. It was about understanding the principles of justice and compassion at the heart of his faith. This intellectual rigor would later become a hallmark of his political style, allowing him to connect with people from all walks of life. From the madrasa, Hadi's journey took him to the prestigious University of Dhaka. This was a whole new world. Dhaka University is the beating heart of Bangladesh's political and intellectual life. It's a place where ideas clash, where movements are born, and where the future of the nation is constantly being debated. Studying political science there, Hadi was thrown right into the center of this vibrant, often chaotic environment. He wasn't just reading about political theories in books. He was seeing them play out in real time on the streets and in the lecture halls. He was witnessing firsthand the frustrations and aspirations of his generation. This experience was transformative. It was here that his early spiritual and ethical training merged with a sharp political consciousness. He saw the gap between the promises made by politicians and the harsh realities faced by ordinary people. He saw corruption, he saw injustice, and he saw a system that seemed to benefit the few at the expense of the many. Instead of becoming cynical or apathetic, Osman Hadi got activated. The university wasn't just a place for a degree, it was his training ground. It was where the quiet student from a small town began to find his powerful, undeniable voice, a voice that would soon resonate across the entire nation. Osman Hadi didn't ease into politics, he burst onto the scene. His activism was fueled by a raw, unfiltered anger at the state of his country. He looked at the government, then led by the Awami League, and he saw a system failing its people. He wasn't shy about calling it out. He spoke relentlessly about the corruption that was eating away at the nation's foundations. He pointed to the nepotism that placed connections above competence. To him, these weren't just political talking points. They were moral failures that kept millions of Bangladeshis trapped in a cycle of poverty and powerlessness. He spoke a language that everyone understood because they were living it every day. What made Hadi so magnetic, especially to young people, it was his authenticity. He wasn't a polished, focus-grouped politician. He was one of them. He spoke with the passion and frustration of a generation that felt ignored and unheard. While others were cautious, he was fearless. He directly criticized what he saw as the government's subservience to foreign powers, particularly India. He argued that Bangladesh's sovereignty was being compromised, its economic and political decisions influenced by outside interests. This message of national pride and independence struck a deep chord with a youth population hungry for a leader who would put Bangladesh first. His criticism wasn't just loud, it was specific. He connected the dots for people. He would explain how a bad trade deal or a political decision influenced from abroad could mean fewer jobs for graduates in Dhaka or lower prices for farmers in the countryside. He made complex geopolitical issues feel personal. This ability to break things down, to show the cause and effect, was his superpower. Young people, students, and unemployed graduates saw in him a leader who not only understood their problems, but had the courage to name the sources of those problems. He gave them a vocabulary for their discontent. This growing movement wasn't just about protest, it was about creating an alternative. Hadi wasn't just tearing things down, he was trying to build something new. He envisioned a Bangladesh that was strong, independent, and just. A nation where your success wasn't determined by your family name or your political connections, but by your hard work and merit. This powerful vision, combined with his fearless critique of the status quo, made him a natural leader. People didn't just follow him because he was angry. They followed him because he gave them hope. He was painting a picture of a better future, and he was inviting everyone to help build it. An idea is powerful, but an organization can change the world. In 2018, Osman Hadi took his movement to the next level. He founded a political platform and called it Inquilab Moncho, which translates to revolutionary stage. The name was perfect. It wasn't just a political party, it was a stage for the voiceless, a platform for dissent, and a rallying point for anyone who believed that Bangladesh deserved better. Inquilab Moncho became the organizational backbone for the growing discontent against the Awami League government. It was more than a movement, it was a home for a generation of activists demanding radical change. Inquilab Moncho's purpose was clear: to mobilize the masses. It organized protests, held rallies, and used social media to spread its message of justice and sovereignty. It became a powerful force in Bangladeshi politics, challenging the government's narrative at every turn. Hadi and his platform were a constant thorn in the side of the establishment. They were disciplined, they were passionate, and they were growing fast. They tapped into a deep well of public frustration over issues like economic inequality, restrictions on free speech, and the perception that the country was losing its independence. They were creating a political tsunami. Then came July 2024. The student-led protests, which came to be known as the July Revolution, were a spontaneous explosion of public anger. And at the heart of this storm was the groundwork laid by Osman Hadi and Inquilab Moncho. They had spent years building the network and articulating the very grievances that were now bringing millions onto the streets. When the uprising began, Inquilab Moncho was ready. They helped channel the raw energy of the protests into a coherent force for political change. Hadi wasn't just a participant. He was one of its most prominent and influential leaders, his voice guiding the revolution. The July Revolution was a turning point for Bangladesh. The sheer scale and intensity of the protests ultimately led to the resignation and flight of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in August 2024. It was a stunning victory for the people, a testament to the power of collective action. And for many, Osman Hadi was the symbol of that victory. He had dared to dream of a different Bangladesh. He had built the stage for a revolution, and he had stood with the people as they reclaimed their power. Inquilab Moncho had proven that it was not just a fringe group, it was the voice of a new generation ready to shape its own destiny. The future that Osman Hadi fought for seemed within reach. An interim government was in place and elections were on the horizon. But on December 12th, 2025, that future was brutally attacked. As he was leaving a mosque in Dhaka, a place of peace, Osman Hadi was shot. The attack was calculated and cold-blooded. He was airlifted to Singapore, but the injury was too severe. On December 18th, 2025, the voice that had inspired a revolution was silenced. His death was not just a tragedy, it was a political earthquake. The news sent shockwaves of grief and rage across the nation he loved so dearly. The reaction was immediate and explosive. The streets that had recently celebrated a revolution were now filled with protesters demanding justice. They saw his assassination not as a random act of violence, but as a deliberate attempt to kill the spirit of the July uprising. His supporters, led by his brother Omar bin Hadi, accused the interim government of complicity of failing to protect a national hero, and of being part of a conspiracy to derail the path to a new Bangladesh. The grief was raw, and the anger was white-hot. For his followers, this was a clear message. The old forces were fighting back. Osman Hadi's core ideas were simple but profound: justice for the powerless, absolute sovereignty for the nation, and empowerment for the marginalized. He believed in a Bangladesh free from the shadows of foreign influence, a country standing on its own 2 feet with dignity. His assassination only amplified these ideas. His death turned him from a political leader into a martyr. It cemented his status as a symbol of unwavering courage. People who may have disagreed with his politics could not deny his conviction. His willingness to sacrifice everything for his beliefs became his ultimate, undeniable message. Today, just days after his passing, Osman Hadi's legacy is already taking root. It lives on in the protesters who continue to demand accountability. It lives on in the Shahidi Shopath, the martyr's oath taken by his followers to continue his fight. He has become a source of inspiration far beyond the borders of Bangladesh, a global symbol of what it means to stand against injustice, no matter the cost. His life was a testament to the power of a single courageous voice. His death, while a devastating loss, has ensured that his voice will echo through generations, a constant reminder that even if you kill a man, you can never kill an idea whose time has come.